Nobody's on here. Uh, okay, so I'll comment under public comments. The group that was just here gave me some information from NRCS on Department of Agriculture on grants for a grant specifically. This would work for Cobble Road and getting us some money for that culvert. And I think it would work out. I would probably have to be from Dan Carr, uh, who's a grant writer, and making it clear that his farm is basically divided in half. Um, and I think we're a shoe in because we've already spent enough money on engineering. Um, and I don't know the total that we've spent on the engineering yet, but it's a pretty sizable amount.
6,000.
Is it 45?
I think so. I don't have it written down.
And that's just for the culvert end, right? So I think anything that we can, anything more that we can get would be a help. So
Is that
What's-
Department of Ag or?
as
you-
Department of Agriculture, yeah, US Department of
So
Agriculture.
what's
But
it,
that
what's it
has to be-
specific to? I
It's
mean, what is the,
so it's Natural Resources Conservation Service, NRCS. And they are
does that have something to do with flooding his property or something?
They
Yeah.
generally do like Shamu did over there, they all apply for something, either to bring water in or take water away.
yeah, city or township governments, county governments, or profit organizations other than small businesses, independent school districts, Native American, blah, blah, blah. Public and state controlled institutions of higher education, small businesses, eligibility, additional eligibility criteria, an agriculture or silviculture producer association or other group of producers, state or unit of local government, farmer cooperative, water district, municipal water, wastewater treatment. I mean, there's Dan, like I said, Dan's a professional grant writer, and I'm sure he could wiggle the words around enough to make it work. So I think Steve's already talked to Marlene about asked her if she would be if they would be interested, and of course she said yes, without talking to Dan, but
Who's Dan? Dan who?
Dan
Car.
Carr, they're over at Schrank's property there.
He's a grant writer, I didn't
And
realize.
he's a grant writer for
Do you give me a copy of that? from
yeah,
you?
sure, yep.
You don't have to
And,
do it right now.
So that's what that's about. That's what that little meeting was about here. Minutes.
That's to apply for a grant to repair or to go toward the culvert.
I think to go toward the color. Now that we had that kind of part of the discussion was we didn't enlist Cardinal to do any engineering on the road section. He was reluctant to get involved in that because it would have to involve the Army Corps
Mhm.
and
Why,
Is-
is there a header on each side?
no, I mean,
No, just a
I
swamp.
think it was 120, 150 feet either side of the center line of the culvert, right? I
Yeah,
think it's something to that effect.
that's all they're, yeah, that's what they're.
That was the project. So 450 feet towards my house is pretty rough shape, means some fill
Well, it's
material
underwater,
is underwater, right?
Yeah, what it is, it's, the Army Corps engineer said that that road could only be raised, 6 inches or something, and then it would have to be. It would have to be resurveyed or something.
There was a specific elevation,
Yeah,
puts it into flood
Yeah, the
whatever the
flood line or something
floodline
would have
was,
to
yeah.
be
We asked for that
readjusted.
and he was reluctant to give us that information because obviously he doesn't want to be held liable. But what he does understand is the fact that so much material is walked out of that road. It's created a berm on the down slope side, the down flowing side, that in essence, we could build the road elevation up to that and not affect, it wouldn't affect, wouldn't back it up any more than it does than it backs
Right.
up now because of the rain.
It wouldn't throw a red flag up for the elevation of.
It wouldn't flood the barn. Um. So, to tie, I don't know if we could tie any of this grant into that, but it would certainly, open up some of our own coffers to address that part of the road if we could.
This is a matching grant or anything
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say,
that.
is there a certain amount the grant is for, or is it percentage?
I don't know, I haven't read through it, they just gave it to me here.
Yeah,
Well, I think we still have to have a vote with the town to decide if we're gonna spend money on that road.
Sure,
don't we?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah. It doesn't make,
we got,
the argument I
we
would
gotta-
make, and I know that you feel different than I do, Tim, but the argument that I would make is if we're gonna spend 350 grand on a culvert, it makes no sense to not address the road. And to
well, I
make
mean,
that,
that's what we gotta vote on, is the culvert.
Cause the
Right,
numbers.
sure, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And again, it doesn't make any sense we've already spent 45,000 on engineering.
Yeah.
If the intent to fix the culvert wasn't sincere, then we should have never spent the 45,000 to engineer.
I agree. But,
And it also
but
affects
we also
the,
have to weigh the odds as to if you spend the $350,000 and put it in a culvert, is it gonna fix the problem?
I think it's gonna address a good portion of it. Sure, I do, I think it will.
Unless you raise the road. We're not supposed to work on the road. If I understand it right.
well, it's gonna be a double culvert, so it should take twice as much. Should alleviate some of it.
Right. The other thing too, that we have to remember is the impetus for this whole idea of fixing the culvert is so we can take the other bridge out completely to repair it.
Hoping that that would make it cheaper to do rather than leave one in.
Well, I wouldn't think that,
I would think so.
yeah. So there's a lot to it, right? There's a lot.
Sure.
involved.
Yeah, so you
But-
gotta.
but there's
go
also
and
the-
Find out, go online to find out more. What you have to do to apply that, so.
There's also the thought of how long will the existing culvert last? Before it, I mean, will it last long enough if you raise the road up some? Would it last long enough to allow you to get the bridge built? And then after the bridge is built, abandon the road?
Yeah, I'm not,
It really makes no sense to make a road to a swamp, in my opinion. This is why I mean, you're not gonna lower the level of the water, so
No, I think we've got to keep in mind that it's gonna be flooded once in a while, but the flood water should go down.
how?
Out the same way it always does. Right now, we've got a,
Evaporates, I guess.
right now, well, no, right now we got a pond because there's nobody, we haven't put anything back in there again.
I disagree.
well, I mean, you can walk from one end from the bridge to my house. And the deepest right now that you'd walk through was probably 4 or 5 inches.
Okay,
If you walk down the center line of the road where you drive, it's almost up to your knees.
okay,
So,
still over the road.
sure, so, but what I'm saying is if it's 4 inches off to the side of the road, there's no reason why it couldn't be 4 inches down the center of the road. It's not going to affect,
So fill up the center,
fill up the center, right?
okay?
And this is, right now, is pretty high water.
Yeah, I did just talk with, inland wetlands. They have a meeting on Monday,
Sure.
cause I have to have their blessing. Be able to add to the road.
Mm, that was. I'll meet with you too on that, and, it's an established road, it's been around longer than the inland wetlands.
Yeah, so it should,
So-
I'm hoping that that's not a problem, but
Right, I don't,
but they may, I think they're gonna just say, you know. We have to put stone in it, no gravel. Because they don't want the gravel. They stopped me from this over 20 years ago, or about 20 years ago. They don't want the gravel washing into the swamp. So if I could have the arborvitae's or the, not, did I say that right?
Yeah,
It's a
no, the-
arbor-
yeah.
Phragmites.
Phragmites. Phragmites.
Everybody should have some arborvitae's in there.
And there's some other stuff that comes in with the
Yeah, yeah,
gravel
yeah,
that
yeah.
they're worried about getting
Yeah.
into the swamp, and there's already some over there.
Yeah,
Likely from what we've added there, 30, 40 years ago or whatever, but if you just add stone, that doesn't really happen. So I'm trying to be able to build the road up. And I'm with you, okay, but, I still think it doesn't make sense to fix the culvert and keep a road open in the swamp. But that's not up to me, you understand.
that's up to the
So,
town,
Yeah.
that would be up to the. town.
Yes, we have to have all the facts to present to them.
Right, right.
Put it, this
Is
is,
the end result to have, say, it was approved for straight stone, is the end result to lay blacktop on it again?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think,
That ship sailed.
Oh,
what does it mean? I understand this part. Applicants are expected to contact the appropriate state conservationists and the state, what's RCPP
RCPP.
coordinators.
Sure.
There's a webinar that you gotta attend to see all to learn all the additional things that you need to know. And it's got to be submitted by July. Proposals must be submitted by July 2nd. Award ceiling 25 million thousand.
Well, we could probably fix it for 25 million.
Well, they're saying award floor is 250,000.
might even get blacktop.
Then, they announce it October 24th with project start dates no sooner than March 1st, 2025. And you have to have it done within 5 years.
So the grant writer has to write it before the July deadline.
Yeah. He's got all the boilerplate, the stuff that, he's really good at it,
Not his first word, yeah.
right? No, that's all he does. So, and the other thing is, he's written grants for NRCS specifically for them,
Uh-huh.
so.
And it's
he
his
knows the
property on
people.
both sides,
Yeah, right,
so he has a,
Good. history.
legitimate grouch,
For
and,
that.
the town is ready.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
yeah, we did
State
get
or
approved
unit
for a
or
grant,
whatever.
we did too,
Yeah.
also, that's right,
50%,
right, so
Right.
this may take care of the other 50%.
it may, but. You gotta try.
You gotta try for everything, right?
Yeah, all they can say is no, or yes.
Okay, so, any other comments on the public comments on that?
No.
I'll make you a copy of that, Judy.
Yeah, I was just gonna run it by Risha to see if she knows anything about it.
Sure. Minutes, if we had a chance to look at the minutes. Yeah.
Chris, you're quite the handyman, huh?
Yeah. All I had.
Kinsella did the repair while there.
Box with a couple.
Watched your
couple-
gills break.
Hope they don't have to take it apart now. Um. Any additions or omissions on that? Anybody see anything? Get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 4. Let's see, Tim and Dusty and I and Lee met at the town garage this past Saturday. Talked about salt storage shed and a grease oil collection tank. And I brought, this is the only file I have. What do you have, Tim? Do you have anything on that?
I have my drawings.
Did you say that, Lee was there too?
Lee was there, yes. So this is, okay,
Well, that's the plot.
yeah,
Next page is the building.
let me make some copies.
There's a few different views of it.
Where is it? Culver pipe?
This is a salt shed.
Yeah.
This part is but it's like a tent.
Yeah.
With all
How long did they bid on this, Tim?
this was from 2019. 2017 and 2019.
A while.
This more pictures and stuff. Oh, this is the clear span building. But this type of structure for you.
Dusty,
Yes.
you've got pictures of it.
Well, the structure over the top is this.
Oh, yeah, it looks so better.
What is that made of? This part.
It's a fabric, it's a tent, also canvas type plastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's pretty good.
It's still done.
Well, I don't know where it's from, actually. It could be, but in the proposal that we did a few years back, it was done with options of 4 different ways to build it. For instance, using
Yeah.
poured cement walls,
Right,
building it with mafia blocks,
sure.
3 different types of
All the same roof?
3 different types of roof structure on top of it. We
Yeah.
looked into a wooden structure, a steel structure, and a tent,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And,
They all must promote a lifespan or something.
oh, really?
2018, did you say?
Is this the same system that, Wrecker's used? I know compost bins are that?
I don't know if it's exactly the
Yeah,
same,
I
but
mean,
it is
same
it is a tent
Same
type of
concept.
structure. This is the one that had all the different options. Let's see, which one would be option 1, arch truss steel structure. In place concrete foundation, option 2, and this was determined at the time. I presented it last, that it was too expensive. This was an estimated price at the time on these, so the option two is art truck. Steel structure with precast concrete block walls and fabric roof. It's like $260,000 for that size building.
That's
Uh,
right.
yeah, that's going back 5 years.
With no floor probably, so, all concrete floor.
That was with a concrete
Minimum.
floor that was proposed,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which we would likely
You were
do an
saying-
asphalt. Yeah. And this one also had a, what's not in that picture, but it's this one also had a, what's the stuff it just did for me? It had a cement pad out in front.
Like an apron,
Yeah. So you can see it here, concrete apron out front.
it says.
You know, that's where you would be turning the loader all the time and stuff like that. So I mean, it was. There's a lot of reasons why it was that expensive. I mean, poured cement structure 10 feet high, plus it had footing up. No, that all adds up.
Absolutely.
So I mean, this was our first attempt at trying to get a salt shed. Well, not our first attempt, but this was our first blueprint of our desired structure for what would fit up there. That was the part that, thanks for getting that, they different option prices. So yeah, we looked at a wooden structure on top. Like this one. There was,
That's what Salisbury stuff, that there, don't they?
they,
Don't they have a wooden structure?
I think they have, I think they do have a wooden structure on top of those. Cornwall and a wooden structure on top. This is made out of telephone poles, I think, with.
Interesting.
Yeah, the thing about like over in Salisbury is. They have a much wider area, so they used mafia blocks on the bottom. I think they only had to go up one or two mafia blocks. Well, when you shrink it up into a smaller area, how big was this one?
I think they're tall enough to fit a dump
Like
trailer.
less than 60 feet wide, so. So when you shrink it up a little skinnier, then you wind up going up higher, you know, which is. I haven't had really good luck stacking those mafia blocks for any length of time, but
Yeah.
you can, I mean, they're not bad, they're just.
I know what they are.
So we talked about this,
Someday.
Well, basically, the important thing was to show you the prints that Chris just copied were well, that was the desired footprint of the building. How you build it, I guess, is another.
okay, so that's the option one on this, Tim, the one that I just printed up,
Yeah,
I think is option one.
let's see.
Arch truss is cast in place concrete floor walls and
Yeah, that was it.
fabric roof.
Basically, it comes down to what you use in the cement. It's what seems to make a pretty big difference.
Yeah. So part of our discussion Saturday, Tim had a really good idea, is that center wall, that dividing wall down the middle of the thing could be made out of the concrete blocks that he has up there now on site. So that would eliminate that. Wouldn't have to purpose that. It's a value engineering there. And probably pave the floor, right? If we consider paving the
I
floor.
think
that
I
makes
would,
sense.
yeah, I would rather, I mean, the engineer threw in there, he said it needed to be cement, in fact, he's got it
12
written
inch
here,
thick.
4-inch concrete. Pavement over 12-inch compacted aggregate.
Yeah,
So is that because it's less likely to have seepage? That's the most.
well, I don't think, I wouldn't worry too much about seepage as long as the structure is, gets the water, we
Yeah, I
don't
think
get
he
any
was
water.
worried about the salt eating the asphalt, yeah.
Yeah.
And salt will, technically salt will eat cement too.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, yeah,
Everything.
and especially if you. I guess if you go into something other than salt, some other treatment.
So anyway, since this was addressed, or how do I say it? Since I tried to get it approved, it has been, denied because it was too expensive. So I guess our next move would be to figure out how to make it cheaper. Like Chris said, we were talking about the floor being changed, maybe get rid of that poured cement wall down the middle. We could probably use mafia block or something for that. I even thought maybe, does it really need to be 10 feet high walls? I guess we could probably come down a couple of feet.
I kinda, I would,
Well, that'll make a determination on how much material you put in there because of the slope.
Right, that's true. And
I think the idea of 10 something, an 8 foot high wall versus a 10 foot high wall was minimal material. You know, you're only talking 2 feet of concrete to length of the wall, a little bit more in labor.
right, and I mean, but how much height do you need for a dump truck body to dump in there on a triaxle? My trucks are a little smaller than a triaxle.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, likely to be a triaxle that dumps in there, and you don't wanna tear the tent out. Uh, the roof out, I should say. So
Probably 30 feet.
so he's got 32,
this looks like it's 32 feet high to the top of the tent.
yeah, from the floor.
How many cubic yards you go through in the winter?
This winter, about 500-600 yards of sand and uh, maybe 200 tons of salt.
This building is designed for 1,173 cubic yards.
That's, yes, that's what's usually in my pile up there, about 1,800. We always kind of tried to figure out 2,000, but I don't think I ever really got there. It's hard to judge a pile,
Oh, I know.
but I think around 1,800 yards of sand is in the pile when it's full. So I mean, we went through 500 yards this winter,
Mhm.
approximately. And I don't think we didn't use quite half of what I had there, so. On a winter where I've used the whole pile in the winter before.
Yeah,
Um. I got right back into the bank there that one year, the guys were really getting scared, but,
well, the good thing about it is we're close to the pits.
right.
I guess what I'm thinking is, can we shorten this up a little bit to hold a little bit less?
I think you could, yeah. Cause this is figured for a full, what did it say, 1,900 cubic yards of sand plus what you put in salt on the other side.
432 salt, 1,173 sand.
And that's 80 feet long.
And currently the salt shed I got up there holds about 75 tons of salt. And I have to get that filled back up, 2 or 3 times.
Throughout the year.
Yeah, but
Uh,
they'll deliver salt in the winter, so it's not like I have to stockpile it up ahead of time.
Right.
yeah,
They will deliver.
Yeah.
The sand they will deliver too, as long as their pile's not frozen,
yeah.
Yeah.
What year did we, was there a salt shortage? Do you recall that?
It's during
2014 or something?
during COVID,
It was 5 years ago.
2020.
I didn't know a letter here somewhere. One of the letters I wrote to the selectmen begging for the salt shed is in there.
Yeah,
So it's going back to COVID. So these estimated costs are from 2017, 18, or
Yeah, it's everything on that.
July 14th
What year?
and 17th.
17, but those all are from 2017.
Yeah, this one was 2019, this was the.
But is there an estimate on the cost of that one?
Yes. There is.
so even if we create some value engineering here, we're probably not gonna vary much from that 310,000 for the
That
desire.
is the same. Cost analysis summary was from 2019. I think the initial blueprint was from 2017.
Okay.
I think we brought it back in 2019 with
Okay.
the options of different ways to build it.
So the
Because it
cost,
failed in 2017, we brought it back 2019 with new options.
And
so do you think this,
Failed again.
this cost analysis is from 2019, Tim?
Yes, it is. That's this one.
Okay.
That's this back there.
Okay.
That's 2019.
All right.
Now, just from looking at the diagram here, this has got, by looking at the contour line, it's pushed back into that hillside quite far. Those walls are gonna have to be higher than 10 feet back there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I mean, it's almost. pushed
Right
back
now,
almost.
right now you ramp up to the sand pile
Yeah,
when you're at the top. So that's probably figured for like a level if you didn't ramp up, you know.
well, I'm looking at the contour, and I assume you're 2 foot.
Think about it says on
So the, yeah, if you look at the, if you look at this sheet here, it shows the
The front
finished
apron
grade going all the way to the top of,
profile.
I guess, it's a 10 foot. 10 foot high wall from finished floor.
Steve, I think I can see it. I think that says 500 and that's a 504 up here. It's over 4 foot. I think it's 4 foot. Above.
It's 20 feet.
And then up here where the road is 508 or 506, I think. So it's a couple of feet there. If you went back into the, but I mean, we were just talking about shortening it a little bit too.
Yeah, so then you can put the,
See, and that was,
Keep it
see what he
back up.
calls the mixing zone up there,
Yeah.
that was basically a part of the building that he was figuring wasn't gonna have any sand or salt in it. So it's gonna be back out and turn and maybe you dump the truck there and push it in, stuff like that.
yeah, it's all gotta be under cover too,
The sand and the salt,
the mixing zone,
looks like.
it was on this particular
yeah.
print, yes.
So do you think? Could you cut 22 feet out of it? Cause that would get you back to the first pile answer.
What do you have your 80s now? I don't see why not. I mean, the way he's got it drawn here, it looks like the pile is just about to that 20. Is that 20? Yeah, that's 20 feet back from point 1 to point 2. That's 20, 40, 60, yeah, that's 20 feet back. So that would change the footprint from 80 feet down to say 60 feet in length. And it's 54 feet wide, so it'd be almost square then.
Right.
You could narrow up the salt too.
We could,
Well, I think this all, like I was saying, that center wall we make out of, the block that he has up there.
so it's there a little wider.
17.6 wide. I don't know why is your salt shavings up there now, but existing one. So
It's about 8 feet.
yeah. So maybe I'll narrow that up and gain more volume.
Yeah, right.
So what would be the process for mixing? Would you fill that the bin with sand? And then mix per storm or?
How do you do it now, Tim?
I mix it as it's being delivered in the fall. That way it's got a little bit of salt in it to keep it from freezing. So I don't get big clumps
Yeah,
that plug up the sander and stuff. So what we do now is as the sand comes in, delivered from one of the quarries up there, Laurel Brook or Sagala or or whoever, they bring it in with a triaxle and we mix the salt in it as it comes in, just.
But they're dumping it off the bank,
Yeah,
where here they'd have to dump it in the front,
yeah,
and then you'd have to push
push
it back there.
So that would be why.
I mean, that's,
mix the salt with it and push it in, yeah.
that's how I do my salt pan. Use that salt pan. Then
So
your
we mix it,
stuff way in the back always has some salt in it. I think what you're really gonna want a surplus of sand, because you don't want to haul sand, chunks of sand and snow in.
and then once it's closed,
Yeah,
yeah, I've had to do that.
so I mean, salt,
Don't bring it in, but.
salt could be a smaller stall. Maybe shortening up the building or something, and just have that stick with that volume of sand, the 2,000 ton roughly, whatever. Because that really stinks when you
Yeah,
have to do that.
that gets difficult. Currently it's under a tarp and we have to cut the front of the tarp
Yeah.
off as we push back into the pile.
Yeah.
How's the material that get put in the shed? Is it dumped outside and then pushed in? Or?
Yeah, that's what it would have to be done. The
Probably
way,
get it,
the way
probably
this
get
one's
it in
built,
there some, get it back on the pad. Whatever the dump truck would, I guess whatever the building would accommodate, the dump truck fully extended.
That separation wall makes me nervous.
Well, I think the separation wall, I think we could eliminate it as being cast in place and use the mafia blocks that Tim has up there and make it out of there.
That'll probably be
Yeah.
more stable.
Yeah, that'd be pretty stable if it's filled on both sides. The other thing too is it gives you the option, I think, what we talked about. Of being able to relocate that in the future.
I mean, you may decide at some point you're gonna use more salt than you are sand.
You might.
But
need
most
more
of the,
room.
most of the towns around us are using most of the sand, salt, sorry.
Right.
So that would narrow up the salt bed,
Hey, you can make the salt bin 12 foot.
because that's only a 1 foot wall now. And those blocks are
2 feet.
are they 2 feet?
Yeah,
That's not that much stone.
I think the ones I have up there are 2 by 2 by 8. And there might be a couple of 6s.
So there must be some grant money available for that in some way.
well, I think that's what was the other thing that, now we've already spent money, I guess it looks like we got a working set of drawings here from. That I wasn't aware of from, Allied, um. So we've already put some money at that, we have some money in the capital reserve fund specifically for this. Maybe we could find a matching grant or,
And it's really something that has to be addressed.
something that, and it's something that has to be addressed, right. Now, the other thing that, this is where somebody like Dan Carr comes in handy. In writing a grant, I don't think he could term it up, but. If we could include. A grease and oil collection. Tank, so Timmy can, use his pressure washer. Without
Well, not only
violating
that,
the
just
law.
open up the drains in the garage. The drains in, the old drains in the garage are all plugged.
Yeah, that's how.
So when you bring a truck in after plowing. You park it in the heated garage, you come in the next morning, you got 2 inches of water on the floor.
So when we had to do that at the garage, we asked him, what do we do with all this water coming off the vehicles? I mean, he said, just groom it out in the street.
Makes a lot of
That's
sense.
where it
Right?
came from,
Well,
but you can't let it go down the drain and into the swamp.
right,
You can push it out the door and it'll go into the swamp, but.
it's not.
So, but I mean, it's something we need to look at. I mean, if you can't pressure wash the lawnmowers like you were saying, it makes no sense at all.
We were talking about that, the end bay on the outside shed building. Maybe it might be a possibility to put it in the open shed. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this, you just brought up a good idea. How did you plug the drains, the existing drains?
they poured cement in.
Yeah, typically
Yeah,
when,
that was
the
actually,
next time they ask you
that
to
was
do that,
actually before I worked there.
take
That
an
was
piece of
20
rigid,
years
kind
ago.
of rigid styrofoam and stuff it down in there and then pour some concrete over it.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
Aluminum
they
foil.
did. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know, but I just know that they're plugged.
Yeah,
That was, the Joe Wright days.
You can ask Danny, he was there when they did it.
Yeah.
because
Right.
if you could, you could, theoretically, you could tie in, you could install the
Separator.
separator onto that drain system.
Yeah,
Well, that'd be like pushing the easy button.
that was easy.
I guess the only problem then becomes, how much does it cost to empty the tank when it's full?
Separator tank,
Like,
another maintenance spot fee, right?
Well,
if they test the water, if they do a sample the water and test it first, then it probably, I mean, the cost would be based on, the percentage of,
I don't know
Oh,
how.
it must be some
Yeah.
sort of a grease trap. So that grease is gonna be considered waste.
and then they just have like those waste hauling companies come suck it out.
Right.
That's,
right,
it doesn't cost that much. The only thing is that we have found with that is that you're actually liable if that truck tips over on the expressway. All those people who had waste oil or
Product
anything
in
in there,
there.
they're responsible.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
out of control.
Isn't that
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous?
That's way out of control.
Yeah. So you pray. But
you guys you have a system over there now? How often do you have to get it?
not very often because we burn all our waste
Oh,
oil.
okay, yeah, sure.
So, but there are other things that we can't burn that they come and collect. And it's not that expensive.
What do you do with the waste oil now, Tim?
There's a container for it that,
There's two.
it's an old oil tank. Like
Oh, you take it
Two
over-
hundred seventy-five gallon tank,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it gets, pumped out by, can't remember the name of the company.
like a Clean Harbor kind of thing.
Yeah,
something like that,
Clean Harbor,
Yeah.
so it's,
I've seen it.
yeah, they empty the transfer station also.
Okay.
And we used to make money on it. They used to pay us for the
Yeah.
oil. 35 cents a gallon or something like that when I first started, and now, it cost us money.
Yeah,
And a couple of times, they test it first, and the tank that's over at the transfer station tested that it had chlorine in it or something. I can't remember what it was, but, and so they wouldn't take it.
okay.
And we had to pay to have it, taken to some other place. I can't remember where it was. It
That,
cost us a bunch of money.
that building needs a new furnace. I wonder if you ought to look into a waste oil burning furnace.
The town garage,
Yeah.
it's got a brand new furnace.
Oh, I thought they kept falling apart.
No, they just put a new one in, before winter.
Oh, well, you see this way.
It was,
And behind-
actually, it was a little part of that was the COVID money.
Yeah,
That's
right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that. Well,
Yeah.
glad I do.
The old one was given up, and,
I tell you, those waste oil furnaces, they are worth every penny.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
really are.
yeah, and see, it takes us. Up there, it takes us probably 3 or 4 years to fill our oil tank. 275 gallon tank. Well, before we get it pumped,
Yeah.
it's,
Do you create a surplus of oil?
We have enough oil right now for like 5 years.
Really?
I don't know what's gonna happen when all the electric cars are out, probably.
Yeah.
They won't last long.
Uh,
so we'll have to buy acid instead and keep batteries up.
all right, so. Any other comments on this? I think it's something we gotta. Keep thinking about, this group, these people that were here earlier. Are big on grants, and I would like to, I don't have time to, look at all the grant stuff. I'd like to push in their direction if.
Essex,
if nobody else has, an issue with that. Um. See if we can get something,
Well, I think our next step with this, this was taken out of my hands after 2019. Because someone else was gonna get estimates and build a different building.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah,
and it didn't happen.
well, it did, I think he even got some drawings put together and
All
stuff.
these pictures.
Nothing got approved. So I guess I'm not really sure where its status of that is actually, but um, the next step for this, I think, would be to work with Allied Engineering some more and redesign it with basically a footprint similar to what we talked about at this meeting, make it a little different, smaller.
Okay, so,
And then we have to get new prices and try and push it to the finance.
We do have some funds in the account.
yeah, there's, I think 115,000 there, so we can
Well,
certainly.
the town has been, it's a reserve account that gets a little bit of money every year.
Right. There's certainly enough in there to, ask Allied to review, and, give us some value engineering.
Yeah, make the adjustments.
Yeah, we would want to, eliminate the center wall, right? Or consider eliminating the center wall,
As a poured
Right.
concrete structure.
Yeah.
part, Yeah,
pave the floor,
yeah,
think
take that cement out of the floor.
yeah,
Um.
And-
Maybe drop back 20 feet on the length of it.
okay.
Is that, stack block 10 feet high? Dirty enough?
Here's a whole bunch of pictures.
Don't know.
on this.
Those have a key in them, right? So I think
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean,
be,
that would have to be an engineered.
yeah. As long as I think.
I
if
don't
you
know
were-
how high you can stack them without support on the side and still.
You'll have more in the sand press on
side than
one
the-
side than you will
the
with salt. The salt is lighter than sand. It's probably a,
You probably make it a shorter wall.
concept there.
I think that
That one's out of, mountain
concrete
block.
to
Now, see,
support.
they
That's
doubled
double.
those up, yeah, to get that high.
There's images on this site.
Both the curbing inside.
Yeah, see, that's a wide one.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
My initial thought when we started to design this building was if I went 10 feet high sides, maybe I could even put like a shed roof off of that 10 foot high wall, and
Yeah.
park my grader and my sweeper under there, you know? But, the old grader doesn't need to be inside a warm building, but I sure would like to keep the rain off of it. It's got a lot of gearboxes and things that get water in them.
It'd be interesting to see just what the roof structure, what that would cost. Sure. Fabric,
I had that.
because if we,
That was in an estimate.
if you
Of
build a
course, it'd be
base,
an old estimate now, but
What you're saying,
if
Steve,
you
I
build a
think,
base,
build a base and just build a shed roof.
well, if you build a base, that would accept, a more permanent structure.
Right.
And if this is fairly cheap for this, for the time being, for the fabric. We could use that.
that was written here, I think, Steve. Still find it.
And this fabric building experts requested quotes. There's
Oh,
tons of different designs here.
right here.
I myself, I'm not a fan of the fabric tops. I'd rather see like a
95,000. Wow,
compressor with a metal roof.
that's a lot more than that.
Like 20 now.
That was,
How
well,
many
that was
winters
a
with
steel frame.
That's with the
Plastic
Fabric. So there, I think there's, what's on that true?
I mean, it's not gonna last 30 years, I'll tell you that. And, you know, down in Thompson coming on Route 8 North,
That was
coming from
130.
like Waterbury. On the right side there, that version going just like this.
more.
You didn't look at this one.
Wind damage and fine shit fell. The wind blew and the shit flew and
Well, that one is $75,000 for that option. That's the most expensive.
Steel
That's one
frame,
of the
oh, that's the same one.
conventional wood frame building on cast and place concrete foundation
Oh, yeah.
wall with asphalt or metal roofing.
Right. Then you're not
Steel frame is
replacing.
back, it's written in two of them. Okay, so the third one. Oh, that, okay, so we only
I
did
don't think it would
two
be such an
different types of
eyesore.
tops.
You big,
And I think
big
Louis
white
was
hole
supposed to get us
in
a
center town.
housing for a wooden structure. Maybe that's what I remember. Wait a minute, option 4. Wood frame building, 160,000. I did have 3 different structures. I just didn't realize it was under a 4th option.
And use the trusses in there, that's.
We have to have steel something.
That's not, that, it's all spelled out on this paper here. Tells you what option 4 is.
Yeah. All the materials list.
Yeah.
And
That's interesting. So what do we do to move forward? We asked George to, or just so informational stuff, just informational.
well,
gathering
there
without
there was
hiring anybody.
also. You can look at
We could ask them to come back and listen to our questions.
There was some thought of asking, trying to find a grant that would help us with it too. I mean, when Pat was the first selectman, we looked into that.
Having kind of a decision on what it's gonna be, like our regular jobs, indecision kills everything. So when you have a general idea, of maybe just option A or B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 12B/7. I think that would be, what we need to do is try to gather down to that, an A, B. Perhaps, I don't. And just have, like you said, information with George, or, he's already been involved anyway. And that, that wouldn't cost much, or if anything, he's already invested into it, just to have an informal Q&A, so to speak.
Judy, does that say anywhere what they're guaranteed for? How long?
I didn't look at that part, but I just found like a steel building that are like on blocks.
yeah, those are, I don't know if you can get one wide enough. On those. This one here is, it's pretty wide. It's 56 feet wide.
The one I sent you an email, Chris, on one of those stored building places that do.
I read somewhere, Steve, I gotta find it again, but I read somewhere that they warranted them for 25 years.
Okay.
Tarps.
The fabric.
That's not bad, that's like shingles.
Yeah, basically be like a shingle roof.
Shingles are saying lifetime.
Yeah,
Right,
just like
that's-
that, just like car batteries.
Whose lifetime?
So when you're
Yeah.
70 years old, it's gonna last.
The lifetime of a car battery is 5 years, I don't care who you are.
Yeah, when it says that's done, it's done.
It's lifetime.
Wow. Tick, 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 tick.
So Hamden was awarded 200,000 for a salt shed.
By what? By which
That's
grant?
where I'm gonna try to find out.
We have tried before,
I wonder if there's something to get through DEP. Or,
I had grant funding awarded through Connecticut Local Capital Improvement Program.
Low slip, yeah.
yes, this one says 20-year warranty. And 50-year warranty on frame.
So maybe.
This was for a clear span.
Yeah, I think so. I think the low SIP, they require you to have. And it's working drawings, ready,
Yeah.
shovel ready, right?
Was 19.
I'm not,
So but that makes one.
so I'm not,
2017 or 2019.
not certain we're shovel, well, obviously we're not, but we don't know what,
I think that's for the tarp.
what.
it's not so bad. What the
You
cost
play
is.
with those.
What option we want.
I think so. That's aluminum, I believe, and
There's a 50-year on that, 20-year on the,
on the canvas.
on the
or
canvas.
Tarp, so to say.
What's the 50 year?
On the,
On
on the
this is
steel.
for a clear span structure. The, at this time, they were a 20-year warranty on the cover. and a 50-year warranty on this framework that goes in there.
Oh, gotcha.
Somebody wants to look at that, yeah.
All right, let's,
Frank, Frank.
yeah, let's ask if, see if we can get, George Johansson to come down and, give us some more ideas on this.
Yeah.
Or listen to our ideas.
Well, I'm probably gonna need a new contract, this. Like I said, here's the old one, that was from 2019. Probably gotta do a new one with it, but we don't know unless we call them, right?
Right. You wanna take care of that, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we wanna,
Maybe have him come to one of our meetings?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, just an hour, we can make it at 5 o'clock.
Where's the service agreement?
Or even 4.
Plus from 27, we had two of them with it already.
We don't have any more ARPA funds, right?
Been granted, no?
Oh, I thought it's all wrong.
I think the last
Some
report I
point.
saw, I think they're.
That's
And that last,
designated for something, isn't
on her report that we got the other night, it said there was 10,000.
Yeah,
Right?
a little over 10.
I'm not sure what it's here.
Yeah, but didn't they have a plan for it?
I think some of it's for
it?
Matt Kiefer.
No.
Yeah. Something else, maybe Elizabeth, the senior center.
It might have been actually, what's
Senior center.
So moving forward with this, we should just, we should gonna put together something to have George.
oh, here's the clear span stuff.
Tim's
We
gonna
usually
reach
have to give
out.
him a retainer of some sort to have him participate.
Do you want to, maybe you can get him on 20th, June 20th? Ask if he would mind coming to talk to us for an hour? Explain to him what, we're trying to do.
Salt shed. Basically.
Yeah,
Route 20.
yeah,
And ask to pick his brain about the grease trap. So you probably have to sign a contract with him to just start the conversation.
Yeah.
It's not gonna come here for free.
all right.
I wouldn't expect him to come here for free. But whatever where he writes up, but you could ask him that, Tim.
I won't be able to come June 20th. That's a historical society. We should.
What, well, I was just gonna say, can we make it earlier in the day?
Mine
Just-
starts at 4:30 and I can rush here to get here for 6.
Well, I'm thinking if we're asking this guy to come, we probably wanna do it during his
Oh, and it
hours.
happens.
Yeah.
Well, these fellows are working now, so.
Yeah, well,
Well, we can just get together our questions and you guys can meet with Tim or meet with you and you guys can show him the outline of
okay,
whatever.
yeah, whatever works, we could even go to his office, Tim, huh?
Let me call him and see what we got.
Okay,
Yeah, I'd like to be there when
Yeah,
these people
yeah.
do too.
If you make it for a little later, like around 6:30, I'd be much happier.
I think he's worked till 5, I think.
So he would wanna, he does go to evening meeting.
He does go to planning and zoning, and I know wetlands and everything, so.
Yeah, and he's working on.
All
that
right,
video
yeah,
on the
seems,
fence.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not, we don't necessarily have to be tied to the 20th, but, I wanna separate the solar meetings and. That was last night, kinda wanna break it up a little bit, but whatever works.
You overwhelmed, are you?
A lot of meetings.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
what
them
works
for
for
taking care of
him.
that, you'll let us know and. What you hear from him. Okay. Okay, the next one that is on the, is prioritize the bridges for, that we want Cardinal to review. They have an assessment of, $2,000 per bridge, right? I think that's, let's see if I can find it here. Uh,
Inspection verification, 2000 a bridge.
Yeah. Okay, the proposal states the work effort is in several phases. Phase one is the investigation phase, and we are proposing a fixed price of $2,000 per bridge or culvert to gather info regarding the rehabilitation of the same. Phase two is the design and contract document preparation, and we feel it best to give you a price once we gather all the information on the individual bridges in phase one. As stated in the meeting, we feel confident that the upset cost for phase one and two service should not exceed 75,000. And that's for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bridges that we identified out of that. Out of his 2019 study.
So a lot of those are culverts.
Culverts, bridges, yeah, they're,
Same price.
anything under 20 feet. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this, Tim, do you have? You see him, you're more intimate with him than we are. Are there? I mean, I guess that would be $18,000 for the 9 bridges and culverts. Just to get him to come out and look at it.
Do we
Do
need?
we wanna do it piecemeal, pick 4?
What were the 5 most important ones? I don't have a big book with me tonight.
I don't either. They were.
I think he used 9 because that was what he used on the previous inspection of another municipality.
They're 10, well, no, there's 10 bridges under 20 feet. So the
Okay.
9. We eliminated,
Angel.
We eliminated Amesville and the Cobble Road that.
the culvert, because we've already gone through that.
One's already federal,
Yeah, the one on
the big bridge.
the big bridge, well, the small bridge too, because
Oh, back.
they already did the one for the culvert. So we're already covering it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The one over
Well, the one at Canaan Mountain,
That one is.
the wooden one, this one, I think should be a
That is
priority.
yeah,
Number one.
That's got,
And then the other was down past you. Called
that's the other,
by,
down by John Derizzi.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's under 20 feet wide?
yeah,
Long, 20 feet long.
Oh,
20
No,
feet long.
It
No,
is,
that's
that
gotta
one
be
is
more
20
than
foot long. That one is long.
Uh,
But it's still, it's one that needs some attention, I think is.
yeah, I thought that was,
Yeah, that one's longer now. Oh, so one, oh, slot.
So we should make a priority list of worst to
that says
best.
widest.
I remember you had like fair.
wait, no, wait, that one, actually, that one is longer than 20 feet,
Yeah,
and so is the wooden bridge.
I wonder why that one will
not
fall.
by much, but
Not by
because
much.
it's at an angle.
Yeah, yeah.
That bridge wouldn't fall under federal? Because of the width?
Bridge?
No, the concrete.
It probably will. But I don't think it has enough to, we're not replacing it.
No, yeah,
So that one
Rock
just needs,
joints
it
and
just
there's
needs
some,
repair.
right.
yeah,
some
I
small,
just, maybe
small
there's,
concrete and.
yeah. I mean, maybe there's
Well, yeah,
more money
it's
we
like,
can get for that somewhere.
that one's not a really old one. That one's like a 1956. It was right
Yeah,
after the
yep,
flood, but.
yep.
The other two, which I think are short ones, one like at the. By Bill Holcomb's old place,
Yeah,
is that Ledgy Brook,
Ledgy Brook,
and then the one back by Henry Todd,
that's,
Whiting
Brook,
Brook.
yep,
Whiting Brook, thank you. Those are 1933. And they are in pretty fair shape, but they also have some, what you call spalling Spalling,
Yeah.
spalling concrete, yeah.
and it's like right underneath of it, you gotta. Should have back up in there, I guess, I don't know how you do that, I don't know, but I want, I'm not gonna go down there with my own mix of cement and just throw it up in there, I want. You know what I mean, I wanted somebody to show me how to do this and make sure I use the right material and do it right.
Okay, so I guess these are,
That's 1, 2, 3. How about Barnes Road Bridge?
That's a pipe
Yeah,
with cement block and
one-
walls on it,
That is a pipe?
yeah, it's like a 12-foot pipe. Yeah,
these 5 bridges are all
and the
over
end
20
walls
feet.
need some attention on those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
It's like the one up on Canaan
They
Mountain
would
by
be
Joni Lamont's farm.
for federal funding.
It's Terry's
but I-
farm.
I
That
don't
one's the
believe
same
that,
thing with the same end wall.
It's the same
Same,
thing,
same pipe, same end
except
walls.
for the one at the end of Cobble Road. Which needs to be redone and Allied's already,
Is one on
or,
Music Mountain, too.
um,
Two of them.
pardon,
Cardinal's already, got the ball rolling
On
on,
that one.
yeah, right, on the financing for that, so.
so, but should we still be prioritizing these?
The,
We have,
well, that's the funny thing, is we have short ones that are probably more desperate than, that only. That's only the list of 5 that are over 20 feet. Um. So you may be right, we might wanna, include one of those,
so we're saying not the Cobble Road one, cause that's already being addressed.
yeah,
But the Lower Barrack Road,
well, I don't think we wanna mess with that.
we don't
Only
wanna
2
do
cars.
the
Well,
one
sure,
by
it's almost up
Henry,
there, right?
yeah.
right.
It's no,
But that's another wide bridge too, though,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
high traffic is Canaan Mountain up the crossover bridge there.
right, so the Wagnum Lake Brook one is fair.
That's the one,
That's the wooden one.
that's the one that has the scouring issues that the state is actually,
Footing, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so, like that,
Concrete walls coming apart.
yeah.
yeah,
That one needs attention, I think, as a priority.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
down as
I don't know
number
if it's the first priority, but it's certainly. a
well, it's
priority.
listed as fair, and the one by, Under Mountain Road. By, past Chris's is fair.
Okay, let's include that
Wagnum
one,
Lake,
that's the,
Under Mountain Road, North
That's
Lawn,
Wangum Lake Brook.
yeah. 5659, right?
yeah. And then the other one would be the,
Oh,
you know what, lower,
Ledgy Brook,
5659 is,
yeah, that's over, that's on Canaan,
that's paying off.
yeah.
That's the,
5195 is the Undermount Road over Wangum Brook. How,
so then we have.
I wonder if we could just address those
just
for
the-
now. With the engineer, I mean,
okay,
hire the
Just
engineer.
start with those two and
Yeah.
then,
Honestly, we might learn quite a bit working with him on those. It might
and then
carry over.
you have
to the
to
other
take
ones.
care of
Yeah,
the rest
yeah.
ourselves.
We
yeah,
can be educated.
like caulking,
Yeah.
if you caulk this bridge, it's gonna be the same as caulking that bridge.
Yeah.
Right,
If you fix
You gotta
spalled concrete
Well,
here,
Yeah,
it'll be the same
teach
on
me how to
that,
do it on one. Maybe I could do it on the other one.
number one would be the Wangum Brook, King
Mhm.
Mountain Road.
and the other one was gonna be,
The, Wangum Brook under Mountain Road. That brook causes a lot of.
yeah, there's exactly.
yeah, I was gonna say, there's a 1,000-foot drop there.
200 feet up there where that lake is.
But the one by Terry's
That's the
Barn.
good one.
is,
That's different. That's a pipe
Oh,
That's a
that's
pipe.
by
it,
by the barn.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's a different brook. No, it's not.
no, it's not,
No, it's
same
not.
one,
It's the same
right,
brook.
yeah.
What's
Yeah.
Deming Brook? What's Deming Brook?
Is that by,
Wait, Henry.
Henry's?
Oh, no, that's
that's
Whiting.
Whiting.
That's Whiting.
That's my brook.
Brook. COPV.
Demi.
Is that on Music Mountain?
No, it's not all enough.
Why
Is
can't
that-
I think of Demi?
Oh, that's at, Wood Sinclair's.
Oh, right.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. How's that one? It doesn't even list that.
We should probably, let's include that one too, because the one down on
That's
Ledgy
a
Brook,
1933 bridge.
it's almost
Okay.
identical to the one over Ledgy Brook.
There's three of those,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
One by Henry Todd's, one at the end of Barnes Road.
Yeah,
And Deming.
yeah,
And we address them all kind of as a group in that area.
I think so, yeah, yeah.
So
So we
we're
have,
not doing the one, we're doing the one by Henry and not the one by you, last year.
we're gonna do,
We're doing the Canaan Mountain wooden one over Wongan.
yeah,
Deming Growth on Under Mountain Road by Sinclair's.
yeah,
Let you rope.
And
We're talking about Rustling Winds Pipe.
no, we were talking about the Under Mountain Ledgy Brook, that's the one by, past you. So two on Under Mountain Road, one on Canaan Mountain.
yeah, actually, there should be four, we should look at the one by, John DeRizzi's, that the same vintage as the one at the end. of
That's not
Conway.
Ledgy Brook.
Ledgy Brook is the Bill Holcomb one.
Ledgy Brook was by Bill Holcomb.
Oh. I was working on that a while ago.
Uh-oh. Yeah, turbine.
I don't know what they were doing, it was, I think all when they were working on the property down there.
Oh, maybe he was cutting brush by it or
I
something.
don't know.
Hmm.
But it was on across the road. Cleaning out debris or something.
Could be.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this right. So we got Ledgy Brook,
Sinclair Bridge.
that one is Deming, and Ledgy Brook is by Holcomb's.
Yes,
And the one by,
Whiting.
Wagnum Brook.
that was 5195, right? That's, there's two of them, Under Mountain Road, or two of them Canaan Mountain Road over Wangum.
And one on Under Mountain Road over Wino.
Yeah,
And then one more on Cabell. The culvert.
oh,
051095.
Actually, that one goes all the way down to Barnes Road too, doesn't it?
yeah, so that's on Barnes Road, yeah,
Another fight. And then it crosses under Route 7.
yeah.
So what about if you're going, leaving Holcomb's headed towards Callaway's place? And you go to that little niche, isn't that Knott Brook? Is that a pipe as well?
I think Whiting Brook, that one's
Whiting.
Is that Whiting?
Yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious of what they call it.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's how we need, property lighting, books files that runs through our property,
Yep, nice little stream.
yeah.
full of trouble.
Yeah. I always call it Cobble Brook.
Oh. And maybe it was years ago. who
Maybe.
knows?
A lot of brookies in there.
Yeah,
Okay, and then, okay, so that's three, and the fourth one was what?
okay, so we got. Lognum Brook on Canaan Mountain Road, which is the wooden.
Yeah, 50, that's 5195, right?
Deming Brook on Under Mountain Road by Sinclair's.
Canaan Mountain is 5659,
There's two of them up there. Which one?
over Wangum. The Canaan Mountain over Wangum. That's the wooden one.
The wooden one.
Yeah.
56.
I know, I'm getting messed up.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Yeah. And then, Stemming Brook by Sinclair's,
Mhm.
which is. Number 2103. And then Ledgy Brook is. By Holcomb's. And Long Brook. Which is 5195. And that is. Mhm.
Wander on the Mount Road.
Juris, by juris.
Yeah. All right, we'll, let's start with those four. That sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
It's surprising that there's not more on other roads like Music Mountain Road with that.
Well, yeah, that was. That brook, I think that's the one with the other beaver dams up there, the cemetery,
Dean's Ravine. Brook,
yeah.
that's
That's
what I call,
Cornwall.
I don't know what actually the name of it is.
That's Cornwall though, isn't it?
No, there's a pipe there and on,
Just before it.
just before the bridge.
The bottom.
The bridge is Cornwall, you're right. You're right, Steve, the bridge is Cornwall, but just before it,
Okay.
there's a pipe.
All right.
It's like a 3 foot diameter pipe.
And then a pipe before the Music Mountain place down the swamp there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good sized pipe there.
Where's Flat Brook? Music Mountain and Flat Brook.
That's, Lower Barrack, isn't it?
Wouldn't that be down by Uncle Bill's?
Mm,
That's the one I call Dean's Ravine, but,
Way down at the bottom?
but I don't really know what brook that is.
Flatbrook, I thought is the
It
one,
may be,
I thought that
was
was
up Lower
on
Barrack.
Lower Barracks Road, but maybe
Oh, maybe.
it just says Music Mountain on here.
Well, it could be Lower Barrack, it ran
Well, it says Music
Under
Mountain
the-
over Flatbrook.
under the, by the, where the beaver dam is. Where you're constantly pulling out the beaver dam,
by the music place.
yeah, down in the hollow there.
Well, that's where, yeah, that,
Then it would run downhill around the corner under Lower
Or,
Barrack Road.
Yep.
Further down, right?
but I'm almost wondering if
Yes.
Flat Brook would be down at the bottom of Music Mountain on the river roadside. Just as you come down just before Uncle Bill's
Oh,
place.
yeah, what's that one?
I think that might be Flat Brook,
There's gotta be a sign on it, huh?
No,
There
not
isn't.
necessarily.
I'll say that.
They only put signs on like this.
All right, that'll be,
State does,
we'll
yeah.
look at that in the next go around.
I think it's better for us to group them in an area, just like we did. Just
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
the
All right,
Intermountain Road gets a heavy traffic.
Do that with the cemeteries too.
Yeah,
all right, I'll send an email out and I think the Board of Selectmen would have to,
We'll have that on the agenda.
yeah, okay, actually, let's somebody make a motion,
I make a motion to present it to the selectmen.
okay, the four bridges
Yeah.
identified, second,
second,
favor,
I,
aye. All right,
So that should be like, what do you say, $8,000 for him to come assess it?
$8,000, that'll be, you're right, and then we'll get him up there again, he can present his findings
And
and,
then we get to pick his brain, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have to
Yeah.
make a motion to check with George? Through Tim? We're just gonna do that.
well, let's see what if he wants to come out and talk to us, if he wants more money to come out and talk to us, then we'll have to go through a board of select.
Yeah.
yeah,
well, I had 2 contracts with him, one from 2017, one from 2019.
Ask him politely if there's anything left. on-
Yeah, bring in donut.
Yeah. All right, public comments and.
Oh, we got other business.
Oh, other business.
The only thing is the project of the seniors, the group.
Oh, I haven't heard back from. What's his name?
Dan
Jake.
Hall and Jake, right?
I got a text from Dan Hall, DJ Hall today.
mhm.
Apparently he lost my email address, so I gave him that again. And Jake, I haven't heard anything. I sent forward him,
Mhm.
same thing I sent to DJ Hall, so
Yeah,
I guess if we get something from DJ Hall soon, we should consider it. If not, then we
okay, so and the only one, other one we have is Valley,
Val, they've given us a
yeah.
quote, and we need to act on it, I guess, so that,
Did you give Dan, is that his name or Dave?
it's
Dan,
Dan Hall. Yeah,
Did you give him a timeline?
no, when I talked to him on the phone, he was like, he was hot on it.
Mhm.
He was going to like New Jersey or something, as some family problem,
Yeah.
but he was back and forth, so.
Yeah.
He's got a small plane, he's bouncing all over the place.
He probably does, yeah. I know just off of my roof, it's a plane and a helicopter. So I will, I'll follow up with him on that and, anything else?
We have that cemetery committee. Which is Dave, me, but we just put Tracy Wilson on as
Yeah.
sexton, so we'll meet with her and go around the cemeteries, maybe Tim can come with us too, and I'll dig out. See if I can find what Shrink said about that cemetery. There,
I might have a little information on that.
yeah,
Um,
I seem to remember because they were. Yeah.
there's a blue law, a Connecticut blue, I think they call it a blue law.
Yeah.
It says if no one's maintaining a cemetery. Then it falls, even though the town doesn't own that property, that it falls on the town to maintain it, cause you can't leave a cemetery unmaintained.
Hmm.
So, but as far as a sexton for selling sites there, I don't know, I think it's private property.
yeah.
Well, I think that one's
should-
full. In
Yeah.
fact,
Well,
Mary,
there was somebody put in it not that long.
yeah, Mary Ann told me that there are more bodies than there are
That's-
headstones. And they're not confined to the fence.
Oh,
Which one is this?
The one,
On,
by our house there.
Oh, out
Frank's
the field.
property.
there's a couple of Kellogg's in there.
so if I remember correctly, Bill Shrink gave the money town to clean it up.
Yeah.
And then to set aside money to maintain it.
Yeah, he paid. John DeRizzi money to fix the fence,
Yeah,
install a new fence.
Yeah.
And somebody to restore some stone. And the guy was over there a couple weeks. But then you're right, I think I don't know if he left money or if,
at the historical society, I'll dig it out and see.
yeah,
But,
I'll dig out what I have on cemeteries. I have
Okay.
a few
so we
notes.
don't do anything with Grassy Hill, so. Dick Hines
Right,
takes care of
and
that,
there's a Catholic cemetery on Dublin Road that's,
that we don't do,
That's
and
not
then
part
there's
of
the one up by Great Mountain Forest, we don't.
oh, that's us.
We do that?
Yeah, Route Gillette Cemetery.
Where's Great Mountain Forest?
Full of Munson's, isn't it?
No,
No.
those are Roots and Gillettes.
oh, there's one up, yeah, steep road.
Actually, there's a,
Steep
that's a
Road,
separate
yeah.
cemetery, the Munson
Yeah.
Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that. That's
That's
right
the one
across
I
from
need.
Carl Munson.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yeah. so-
That
but
we've
we don't
never
do
done
that.
anything with that. That's,
No.
All right.
that I know. of.
I think it's Great Mountain Forest takes care of that.
Yeah, or Carl, somebody,
Yeah,
I think,
Keeps
yeah,
it
I think it's a
pretty clean.
private cemetery,
yeah.
but somebody is maintaining
Yeah,
it, so,
and the one is, on Steep Road, right, that
Steep
you're
Road.
talking about?
We.
Yes.
supposed to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
yeah. I mow it.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
Wow. Are there any veterans in that?
there's the guy who died in 9/11 has been.
Right. He's actually the one that,
His father.
that got permission with, Pete Lawson to clean it all up. And, cause he
Yeah.
like found it out in the woods and it
Yeah.
was unmaintained and he had relatives in it. So, he cleaned it all up and did a ton of work there I think he was a teenager, basically, or a college kid or
Yeah,
something. But, he died in the World Trade Center
Yeah.
bombing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They buried him up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And, he's got an uncle
down
that,
by Sergey, he lived, his father lived a couple houses past you.
Yes,
oh, no kidding, he
Yeah.
lived in town.
Yeah.
His father did, yeah,
Okay, so there's an uncle that lives in Woodbury that comes up 2 or 3 times a year. And he calls me at the town garage every year and tells me he's gonna be up there this weekend and he'll give me a list of what it needs. So like if it
Okay.
needs a new fence post or something. And sometimes I've left the fence post up there and he puts it in.
Oh.
Or, he likes to maintain the
Yeah.
cemetery. He'll call me and say, oh, we just cleaned the leaves off it and it looks great and. Maybe you could grab me a few fence posts for next spring or something,
Huh. Yeah, that's pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
But Tracy has tons and tons of books that cause she was a sexton for a while.
yeah, I know,
But,
yeah.
she has a whole bunch of information on every cemetery.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really handy.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll welcome that. Anything else?
And I think that's.
The,
I have
go
a
ahead.
comment to make. I have an acquaintance who had a car problem at the intersection of Barnes Road and Under Mountain Road. Evidently, if you're making a right turn, there's a drop off there.
Yeah.
And at night, it's hard to see.
Hmm.
And when they were having their car pulled out by the tow truck, the driver said that they're not the first ones he's pulled out of there.
Why,
So I was wondering if there could be some reflectors or something edging the road.
have you heard about that problem?
I know there was a car that landed on Holcomb's old stone wall there one night. I think it was during a snowstorm.
Yeah, I think you're right. I remember, yeah. I remember a car there, probably your acquaintance that, we had just pulled up on, I think the tow truck was there. So,
Hmm.
just this past winter, right? Maybe?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
sometime during the winter.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, went into that pipe on the left? So.
No, he was.
No,
like,
if you're making a right-hand
where the-
turn, it's
Oh,
a
okay.
wide intersection. It's hard to tell by the road.
Yeah, I found somebody in the ditch on the other side of the road. I think last fall.
Huh. So, that's something, probably should be a concern that maybe
I mean, it is a stone
Presented.
wall there, right? I mean, there's
It
a
is stone
stone
there's a
wall.
property.
stone wall, but I think the street side is only a little bit, right?
More
Maybe
since
10
it's curved.
10 inches.
Yeah, it drops off
Sorry.
from the road
There's a-
surface down.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing reflective up there.
No,
There's not even a line on it.
right,
It's funny, we're not really even allowed to put the lines on the road unless the road meets. The state specification
Width, you know.
with and. Cause we used to do one stripe on the road. And they knew the state didn't really want us to do that because it's not legal according to the state, so. And I don't remember all the details to it, I'd have to look.
Those liability stuff, yeah.
who owns that corner piece there? The same,
I think Jim Holcomb mows it, but
No, I think the girls.
It goes to,
Yeah.
those new owners,
I believe so. I don't know for sure.
well, I wonder if we, put a few metal stakes there with some reflectors on them. Maybe 4 or 5 in line in the corner there.
there's any reason why not to.
Yeah. Okay, the other, one last thing is, Monday, I've got, that Badger daylighting is coming up to suck all the dirt out of the basement floor of the library. They're gonna need a place, a spot to dump. If you got a minute, maybe you can stop by and,
Yeah.
and, is, is Reagan available?
Why, what are you guys shoveling into? Shoveling into the hose?
Well, no, the hose does most of it. You just gotta break the dirt up ahead of them.
What
I
day
think
is
it should
this?
go pretty quick.
What day is this?
Monday,
Monday.
yeah. Well, it's because the library's closed.
What are they doing in the basement?
They took a hose down the basement. It's all dirt floor there by the,
First chiseled it all up.
yeah,
In the left side.
yeah, so, it's where I guess Greg had, Mike Hewens put in some pipe, been out to put the drain in. It's all dirt floor down there.
Yeah, I went down
It's a lot of
there.
moisture and they wanna cap it off and. Makes sense, so,
Yeah, that's the only
you know,
part.
gotta dig out probably 8 inches of dirt, their idea was to, have a bucket brigade. You know, with, me and.
Me.
Sergey.
Me and you and you and me.
And I think,
10,000 laborers.
yeah, and then maybe sometime in 2035, we can floor down. And, no, so we use these people, to suck up dirt, excavate, holes at sewer plants where there's a lot of buried utilities. And it works really, really well. So, was my idea to get them to stick the hose down. So that's gonna happen Monday. You're welcome to come over and witness it, and so,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing how.
yeah.
How are you gonna get the hose down there?
It's all, it's a
Window.
six, it's like a, it's like. a
Oh, that's all
septic.
it is?
Yeah,
Yeah, they go through that window over by the generators, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
yeah. You can do 80 feet of hose, so,
No kidding.
yeah. And it's incredible, and suck up rocks the size of this chair here, stick to the hose, then pick it up out of the hole and. Obviously.
Put it in a
suck up the
wheelbarrow.
hole, Put it in a wheelbarrow. But it is pretty impressive.
Our seller out by hand. He
Did he?
knew about this and took him 5 years.
Denny's welcome to come up and see it too.
Say,
All we can get. Okay, any other public comments? If not, motion to adjourn,
Second.
second, all in favor? Aye.
Community. Sandy Hill. So there.